Woo-hoo, good morning. It is Wednesday, July 2nd, 2 days before one of the best birthdays of the calendar year. That's right, guys. It is the end of our week, but it is not the end of your week. So we've got a couple of stories lined up here, pulled up for you, boys and girls. It's the Hat and Beard Show. Here we talk about Lions. We talk about NFL content. We got a few, I piled up 5 stories. If we get to it, we get to it. If we don't, it's because I have a 6th grade reading level. But our leadoff story, off-season don't matter. We got wheelin' and dealin' Miami. Wheelin' and dealin' Florida, kind of in the news quite a bit recently. Florida, kind of a hot spot. We got trades happening with the Dolphins. We got Gator Gitmo opening. That's awesome. But leading off, we got Darren Waller unretiring as Dolphins acquire the tight end in a trade. We'll talk about that. And now, Darren Waller, I know some of you are thinking, Darren Waller, whatever happened to Darren Waller? He had this awesome career in Oakland and then went to the Giants and just did kind of what the Giants have been doing for the past, umpteen years. Just kind of went the Kenny Galladay route and just kind of turned into a putz, for lack of a better term. But over here, we got Men's Health in this very homoerotic picture here. NFL star Darren Waller walked away from a dream life. He says he's better fit for it. Now, this came out in January, but it can give us a little bit of, insight as to what's going on with old Darren Waller. Because if you know anything about Darren Waller, if you watched Hard Knocks back when they were in Oakland, back when old John Gruden was the head coach there for his second stint, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Knock on wood if you're with me, men. You know what I'm saying. Darren Waller had this comeback kind of story, where he was originally drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. And then because he kept failing drug tests, he kind of flushed out of the league. The Raiders gave him a second opportunity. So there's this little bit of a redemption story with him. There's also some other stuff going on. We might skim through this a little bit here. But speaking of Dolphins, that wasn't the only wheeling and dealing that they were doing, bringing in the Giants. Former tight end Darren Waller. They also said, hey, look, we really want Minkah Fitzpatrick back. So Steelers' wild Minkah Fitzpatrick trade reveals 2026 plans for the NFL draft. Just some things to look at because we've seen some players and some capital be moved around. Jonnu Smith, part of the trade deal. That kind of bodes well, I guess, for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Diddly-Doo Rodgers gives him another weapon to play with, and I use that term very loosely. Jonnu Smith, obviously not a spring chicken anymore, but he did have a successful stint with Arthur Smith in Atlanta when Arthur Smith was the terrible head coach of the Falcons. But Jonnu Smith outperformed even Kyle Pitts, some could say. But so this could bode well for them. And Aaron Diddly-Doo Rodgers, gets another veteran weapon to play with. But most importantly, I'm pretty sure that the old Fisherooskies here dealt away. Yeah, that's right. Some draft capital here. So we'll take a little look at that. We'll just kind of poke around with that because that's obviously one of the big news stories. We missed yesterday because I'm a pussy and my back hurt. But then just to kind of finish the weekend or the week with a little bit of a palate cleanser locally here, we're going to talk about Lions. Aidan Hutchinson named a top candidate to win prestigious NFL award in 2025. I'm sure you guys can kind of guess what that is. This ties into the poll. If you haven't noticed down here in the poll in the chat, we do have a poll going on. Can Hutch win Defensive Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year? Yes, no doubt. No, I'm a hater. My breath stinks. Yes, and NFL MVP. Thought I'd sprinkle that in there. And then why not just keep throwing it in there? AOC's Tatas. So go ahead and make your choices there. We'll kind of keep poking around at that as the show develops. But we'll just kind of look around, obviously kind of guess where Hutch is at with his rehab and just kind of basically what we've been saying all offseason. But it's just a little bit of a self-glaze, I guess, more or less, over here at Sporting News. And then over here, I found an article at UGA Wire. Thanks to the never-ending work of you guys. I mean, I'm going to be real. You guys are out here just grind. I mean, y'all are putting in overtime. Let's be real. Brent pointed out, old Brent DeWitt here, pointed out, old Tater Ratledge, the Motor City Mullet, still remains unsigned by the Detroit Lions, as well as 30 other second-round picks. And I want to know why. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what the situation is. So we got a little article here. This came out yesterday. Why Georgia Bulldogs NFL rookie is in a contract dispute. Why the Lions can't seem to get our guy in-house under contract. Well, it's because he wants his money. So we'll look at that. But before we dive balls deep into all this, if you guys, as we pointed out, there is a Polarooski. You can go ahead and make your selection right there. Can Hutch win Defensive Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year? Yes, no doubt, with 75% of the vote. I think that's a strong selection because considering how last season went for him, if he wins Defensive Player of the Year, there is no other selection, right? There's nobody else that could win Comeback Player of the Year if he goes on to win Defensive Player of the Year. And then with 25% of the vote, yes, and NFL MVP. That's kind of my feeling on it, I think, Hutch. Now, my feeling on it is Hutch probably can't win defensive or NFL MVP on account of Jared Goff is going to throw for 100,000 yards and 100 touchdowns, as well as start 2 games at corner against the Bears and have 6 pick sixes against Osama Ben Johnson. So I think that might kind of I need to temper my expectations on Aidan Hutchinson win defensive player or NFL MVP because Jared Goff is going to be borderline superhuman this year. So, guys, right on. Yeah. So if you're new here, would you go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like what we do? Ring that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that we go live. That is Monday through Wednesday as of right now. Oh, and there is an announcement coming. There's an announcement. Oh, the announcement. Omar's coming. The announcement is coming on when we go 5 days a week. That's going to be epic. So hold on to your horses and get ready for that. Would you kindly assault that like button? I need you to go and hit it with the 2-piece and a biscuit on your way down to see the most important button that you can do here to help us is click that share button and just go ahead and copy that link. Just copy it on your clipboard. Look, in today's well-manicured and cultivated social media presence, I understand that your footprint doesn't want to have hat and beard residue all over it. I wouldn't want to be affiliated with myself either. But what you can do is just copy that link on your clipboard there. Go ahead and do it a couple, 2-3 times, to fill up your clipboard. You can delete it later. The algorithm doesn't know the difference, and it really helps us grow, pushes us out there. We got quite a few in the chat going on right now. Speaking of the chat, new feature just added. You guys, we got this this top fan thing where you guys can duke it out amongst yourselves, and basically it logs how frequently you chat. And you see there's a ranking system there. I have no control over this. It's just kind of there, and it's just like, hey, you comment a lot. Cool. I guess. I don't really know how it works, especially long term, but it's something YouTube's doing. So, yeah, okay. Now that that's all out of the way, let's go ahead and just get on into the show, fellas.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
I almost pulled my microphone right out of the stand. That'd have been some interesting way of going about it. So over here at ESPN.com, Darren Waller, unretiring as Dolphins acquire tight end in trade. Tight end Darren Waller will come out of retirement to join the Miami Dolphins. His agent told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Tuesday the Dolphins will trade a 2026 sixth-round pick to the G-Men, who held his rights in exchange for Waller and a conditional 2027 seventh round. There you go, 2027 seventh round pick. So we're giving away a 2026 sixth round and returning a 2027 seventh round. That is a little bit of a tongue twister. Waller, 37, was one of the league's best tight ends through 2019 to 2020. He recorded almost 200 catches for 2,300 yards and 12 touchdowns for the Las Vegas Raiders, who rewarded him with a 3-year, $51 million contract extension in 2022. However, they traded him to the Giants the following year, and Waller announced his retirement just one season after arriving in the Big Apple. If that doesn't tell you something, you wonder, do guys, like Darren Waller, like old Kenny G, maybe realize that, hey, I have something wrong with me, and the Giants have chump written right across their forehead. Just big blue letters, big old chump. So they just, hey, go get a nice little bag of roo and then bail out. You know what I'm saying? And then just go ahead and pull the old ripcord and bail on out. Waller told people close to him that he, quote, missed football and returning for the love of the game. All right, well, that's interesting, especially when we go ahead and read this next article. It makes sense. This makes the second major trade in as many days for the Dolphins. Yep, who sent three-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end. Yeah, Jonnu. I click around too much, fellas. I click around too much. Tight end Jonnu Smith. Where'd you go? Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. Adding Waller fills a need vacated by Smith as the team's primary pass-catching tight end. But there is a risk involved with the move. They really haven't had a long-term solution at tight end really since, I'd guess, Mike Gesicki? Mike Gesicki was there. Waller announced his retirement in June, saying his health scare he experienced in November gave him clarity about his life. Waller has been open about his struggles with addiction, his sobriety, and how rehab following a 2017 overdose helped him turn his life around. He has vowed to use his story to help others. Waller recorded a combined 940 receiving yards in the 2 seasons after signing his extension and missed 21 games over the past 3 seasons. He is familiar with Dolphins offensive coordinator Frank Smith, who coached Raiders tight ends from 2018 to 2020, Waller's best NFL seasons. So, Darren Waller said, hey, I miss playing ball. I'd like to come out of retirement. And I don't like playing for New York. Can I please go to sunny Miami, Florida? Because my life is in shit mode. So Darren Waller, a little bit ago, back in January of this year, sat down with Men's Health. And why he walked away from his dream life, he says he's better for it. So originally he what is this? Thank you. Darren Waller appeared to be living several dreams. He was a Pro Bowl tight end for the Las Vegas Raiders and inked a 3-year contract with $51 million in 2022. We said that. On his wife, his future WNBA champion and model, Kelsey Plum. Most important, she was 5 years clean from substance abuse and alcohol. He was 5 years clean from substance abuse and alcohol addiction. Then in November 2023, a viral infection sent Waller to the hospital, rendering him unable to stand or feed himself. It forced him to think about what was really important. Quote, it looked like all the boxes were checked, but I was so far away from a fulfilled life. I wasn't doing drugs and alcohol anymore, but the hole was still there. There are still childhood traumas that need to be unpacked. Waller began to dismantle the facade of a perfect life and try to live it in his truth at 6'6" and a chiseled 225 pounds. He still looks game ready. His body is densely tattooed with some intricate artwork. You'll see the word serenity, a tiny line drawing of a crown, and another of a balance beam. They remind him to allow himself grace, to be positive, and not overreact to anything. It turns out that that love was at neither the core of his marriage nor the core of his profession. He realized that he'd married a woman whose alpha personality was not only the opposite of his and inevitable, but similar to that of his no-nonsense mother. I was looking at my marriage to Kelsey through the eyes of other people, like how it made me look, Waller said. Who would turn down somebody with her resume? or her resume, as you can tell by my resume. But being traded to the Giants in 2023 exposed everything that was going on within me. It put me back in the space of feeling isolated. I didn't know people in New York, so I just retreated back to old habits. The couple filed for divorce in April of 2024. Working with a therapist, he's learning to attach into attachment theory, a psychological framework that seeks to understand behavior by focusing on people's relationship with their caregivers. Waller says it has helped him identify as an aviodent, as an abdiont, someone who is insecure and struggles with emotional intimacy. Okay. Not for nothing, but modern psychology actually has a lot of its roots in a little bit of a religious subversion. It's the same people that infiltrated the Jacobins and stuff. It's a very so Candace Owens is doing this whole deep dive. I'm not really going to dive into it and open up that can of worms today, but just saying, if you pop on over to Candace Owens' channel, check her out. She's talking about that. It's very interesting stuff. So just saying, psychology is kind of something, just to be careful with that. You need to find a psychologist who wants to fix you and not see you, not a psychologist that just wants to keep billing your insurance. You know what I'm saying? They want to get you out. Get out of here. We want to solve your problems and get you out, not just get off my couch. You know what I'm saying? He also realized that he didn't find joy or purpose at work, walking away from America's favorite sport and a $35 million on his contract at age 31. Jeez Louise, dude. Left his peers and fans befuddled. $35 million. It's a lot of money. I don't even know if playing football was a love. It was just that I'm good at it, and I know what it's going to get me. Some bread, and for people to look at me and say, oh, that's Darren Waller. Well, he's shedding his ego. Who that really is was something he had to integrate, starting with his substance abuse growing up in Ackworth, Georgia. Is that how you pronounce it? Ackworth, Georgia. A nerdy lover of math, science, and piano. He says his friends were mostly Caucasian, and his musical tastes were more Coldplay than J. Cole. The African-American kids questioned his blackness, and girls turned away. Hypersensitivity and a confidence void birthed an internal ache for validation and acceptance. Oh, so the girls didn't like you growing up. Motherfucker, you are a man in your 30s. You are a grown multimillionaire in your 30s. Oh, cut my wrists and gouge my eyes. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Come on, get it together. Get it together. It wasn't until a friend found hydrocodone. I am terrible at reading. Hydrocodone pills in his medicine cabinet at home, and introduced Waller to them, that he felt happiness, or he felt nothing at all. That summer of 2008, the teenager sprouted from 5'8" to 6'2". Jesus Christ. Is that really how fast people grow? Oh my God. That is from 5'8" to 6'2" in one summer? Ow. That makes my hips hurt, dude. Good Lord. He started for his school's varsity basketball and football teams. He says he was thinking, oh, I got the formula now. Yes, I'm using, but my life, is getting better. And that's kind of how the dance with the devil goes, doesn't it? Boy, it feels kind of nice. And then it's a steep fall off. It's a steep fucking cliff there, dude. Find Jesus, my man. While a wide receiver at Georgia Tech, Waller maintained a consistent diet of cocaine, marijuana, alcohol, and touchdown receptions. Still, he was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in 2015, but he failed several drug tests, and the NFL suspended him for a full season in 2017. On August 11 of that year, Waller snorted fentanyl-laced pills and overdosed in his car. He committed himself to a rehab program at the Borden Cottage in Maine and tried a range of therapies. A year later, he returned to the gridiron sober and played better than ever, earning himself Pro Bowl status in 2020 and that big, I think it was like $51 million contract that then came the infection, the hospital stay, and the reckoning. These days, he enjoys a much simpler life, he says. He's spending time lifting weights, running, journaling, and meditating. The creative and competitive spirit that earned him success in the NFL has been redirected to music. Quote, I don't want to make music from a place of lack like I did with football, says Waller, whose latest EP, Internal Warfare, This Is Too Shall Pass, dropped last October. Football was to fill a hole. I want to do music out of love. The hardest work, he says, is introspective, probing his own mind, finding what he's been searching for his entire life. I didn't feel like I was a lovable person, he says, so I tried to outsource that love to other people. I'm starting to form a relationship with myself. Yep. Most of us learned to start a relationship with ourselves back when we were teenagers, but, apparently Darren Waller's just figuring out how to use his joystick. Sometimes I feel like a tire spinning in the mud, but I feel like I'm getting there. So that is just something that he came out. This happened in January of 25, and you see where his head was at. He's, I'm better. I don't want to play football. I'm better for it. That I walked away from the game. I just happened to look up and see what a weirdo. Yes, sir. Sam, you're right. What a weirdo. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's single now again and in Miami. Hey, Brent, dude, bro, yes. So now you get it. Yeah. Now that picture is super clear. He's single, right? Probably spent quite a bit of money getting to know himself, right? With his, what do they call that? A gap year? Is that what it is? Where you take it off between high school and college? He took himself a little gap year to find himself. Went to Burning Man or whatever, or a bunch of music festivals. Has been playing piano and getting to know himself better, discovering his joystick, if it were. And now he's like, oh, shit, I don't have any money. Shit. Calls up his agent, and he's like, hey, how many years do you think I got left in the tank? And his agent goes, well, it depends on where you go. And he says, Miami. No income tax. You know what I'm saying? He says, send me to Miami. So I think this is you'd like to think that this is, he's returning for the love of the game. He's figured it out that this is what he wants to do. And I'm sure. So if he starts the season off in his first 4 games, say Darren Waller has in his first 4 games for Miami, he's got 16 to 25 catches, 3 touchdowns in 4 games, we're pushing 250, 280 yards, right? Total. There's going to be the first Fox 430 game, or if Miami plays in prime time, a whole expose on Darren Waller, and he's going to be. I'm telling you, if he has any type of a start to the season, it's going to be. Oh, he found he rekindled the passion. Oh, he found the love of the game. He's doing it for the love. Nope, he's fucking broke. That's what I'm telling you right now. Motherfucker ain't got no money. That's probably what it is. You know what I'm saying? With little Korean help. Yes, dude. Sam, you're fucking cracking me up, dude. Did he go out with a darkness retreat with AR? He's kind of both out there. Dude, that makes sense, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? He went all summer and got to know himself better, and did a darkness retreat with, and now watch. Next, he's gonna, after he has a whole expose about how he's rekindled his love of the game, there will be a whole thing about how he just wants privacy. I just want privacy. You know what I'm saying? So Waller needs someone who can help him from making bad decisions. Yeah. Or he just needs to, realize how fucking easy his life is because he has generational wealth, and he needs to quit being a baby back bitch about how girls didn't like me in 6th grade. I'm a sad little boy with millions. Boo fucking who? You play a fucking game for a living, dude. Goddamn, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Fucking whatever. All right, so speaking of trades, the bigger news of Miami's big wheeling and dealing on Monday afternoon was the reuniting of Miami with Minkah Fitzpatrick. The AFC North rejoices, I guess. Cincinnati Bengals and their 2 wide receivers are going to come at them with $69 million a year against the cap. Nice. Are happy. Lamar Jackson is happy, right? I imagine Josh Allen is a little fucking pissed. But, now it kind of makes sense why the Pittsburgh Steelers re-signed Deshaun Watson. Or Deshaun Watson. Yeah, they re-signed Deshaun Watson. Re-signed Deshaun Elliott if they were working on wheeling and dealing old Minkah Fitzpatrick. But before we get into it, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you could go ahead and just assault that like button, hit it with 2 pieces in the biscuit, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, ring that notification bell so that you never miss out on any future updates, and share this video around with all your friends and family. Go ahead and make sure all I'm saying is if you got a grandma or like an aunt, and she kind of resembles old Mary Berry from the Great British Bake Off, go ahead and share this channel with her, because that's my type of lady right there. She's a cool lady. You know what I'm saying? So, over here at sportingnews.com, Steelers wild. Minkah Fitzpatrick trade reveals plan for 2026. NFL draft. Ba-da-dun, ba-da-dun. If the Pittsburgh Steelers look like a team that isn't fully committed to winning the Super Bowl in 2025, it's because they aren't. That's not the end of the world. Without a franchise quarterback, few teams have a legitimate championship aspirations. Aaron diddly-doo Rodgers on the wrong side of 40 isn't likely to shift those odds. Isn't that true? Perhaps that's what made the weirdest trade in a recent NFL memory all the more peculiar. Steelers shake up offseason with Jalen Ramsey trade. Pittsburgh had been long considering a landing spot for veteran corner Jalen Ramsey, who seemed to want out from his stint with the Miami Dolphins. Other whispers from the offseason suggested that safety Minkah Fitzpatrick could be on the move if the Steelers were able to finally rebuild. Instead, they shocked the football world on Monday by dealing Fitzpatrick for Ramsey, hoping the dealt between veteran defensive backs makes them more competitive come January. The full deal, as Adam Schefter reports, should make Pittsburgh better on both sides of the ball. Pittsburgh receives Jalen Ramsey, tight end Jonnu Smith, and a 2027 7th-round pick. Miami receives safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and a 2027 5th-round pick. The Steelers needed an upgrade in the slot, and Ramsey is still one of the game's better corners. In 2024, the back end struggled through communication breakdowns and coverage inconsistencies during its season-ending losing streak. Fitzpatrick's role in that decline will likely define just how much of an improvement Ramsey will provide. Jonnu Smith reunited with offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, who will look to build upon his career in 2024, where he posted 88 catches for 884 yards and 8 touchdowns. Mr. 8. He is positioned to play a starting role in the offense from the slot, but will have to be versatile to maintain playing time with Pat Freiermuth vying for snaps. They don't want the Muth getting loose. Patrick Freiermuth. Pittsburgh traded Minkah instead of a 2026 pick. The most important piece of the deal is that the Steelers are operating with a 2026 in mind, more specifically the 2026 NFL draft. Dun diddle dun diddle dun dun dun. They want all the picks they can get. Pittsburgh knows its Super Bowl window won't be open until it acquires a championship caliber quarterback. The simplest way to do that is to draft one, because you can draft a young quarterback on a rookie scale contract and then go more or less buy yourself a championship around it, because if you can get that guy and you can win in a 5-year window on a rookie scale contract, you can spend all the money you want before having to restructure deals, re-sign that now Super Bowl winning quarterback in his first 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the Steelers aren't tanking. Jesus, with Rodgers under center, they could very well play meaningful January football. But with 12 picks in the next year's draft, Pittsburgh ensured it will have enough ammo to trade up on day one if necessary. And isn't the draft in Pittsburgh? Am I wrong? Is the draft in Pittsburgh this year? I'm pretty sure that the draft is in Pittsburgh this year. That's why do I think that? Oh, yes, it is in Pittsburgh because of that article we read about Trump getting the jersey from Miles Killebrew and what's the quarterback? Mason Rudolph. Likewise, the Steelers traded for receiver DK Metcalf, only to trade George Pickens away weeks later because George Pickens is a fucking basket case. Rather than pull the trigger in March and recoup a late 2025 pick, General Manager Omar Khan got a third-round pick for 2026. It may not be included in a hypothetical deal, but it could provide insulation if an early capital gets done. By trading Fitzpatrick, Pittsburgh got to add another star without sacrificing draft capital. That makes the team better in the immediate future without hurting the organization's paramount pursuit. Signing Rodgers and swapping veterans are undeniably short-term moves, but the Steelers have their eyes on the future, even as they hope to compete in 2025. I think this is a very vanilla trade. If anything, I think Minkah Fitzpatrick is a better player overall than Jalen Ramsey. I think Jalen Ramsey is really hitting that wall. Don't know about Jonnu Smith or the success that he'll have. Namely, let's be real. DK Metcalf is going to demand an awful lot of passes. He's going to demand an awful lot of targets. And Aaron Rodgers, unless they have seen something out of Aaron Rodgers where he doesn't have the deep ball anymore. You know what I'm saying? He might not have that deep ball anymore. And then in which case you're trying to add these physical pass catchers, Jonnu Smith. Maybe you see Freiermuth get loose and have a little bit more production out of him. Arthur Smith already familiar with Jonnu Smith. But Pittsburgh really stacking up picks, really acquiring some draft capital here. And Jalen Ramsey could be maybe that veteran piece that helps really get Joey Porter Jr. to the next level. You know, maybe helps level him out, and maybe Minkah Fitzpatrick was starting to become a locker room issue, and Pittsburgh's only going to have enough diva spots for Aaron Doodle-Doo Rodgers in this circus that he brings to the locker room. All right, so far, guys, the chat, we got 9 votes in the poll. Can Hutch win Defensive Player and Comeback Player of the Year? Yes, no doubt. Walking away with 78% of the vote. Coming in with a quick second place is yes, and NFL MVP, racking up 22% of the vote. And then tied for last place, No, I'm a Hater, My Breath Stinks, and AOC's Tatas. So if you haven't already, go ahead and poke around in that little Polarooski there. So we are on the back half of the hour, guys. We'll be just coasting on down to the end of the week. Man, are you guys ready for the 4th? Are y'all ready for the 4th of July? I'm so hyped for the 4th of July, guys. The back is feeling a lot better. Hat and Boobs might be getting a little sick, though. So hopefully she can ward off or quickly get through whatever the sinus thing is that has just been kind of hitting everybody. But Friday, big 4th of July Friday. You guys got any plans? We're having the folks over, gonna grill up some burgers, do kind of very summery cookout. Hat and Boobs has acquired, both her and I, some very patriotic apparel to wear. Nice little overshirt there that I'm gonna be wearing, the stars and stripes all over it. And she also has something very similar to match. So we're gonna be very patriotic, gonna do very American cookout, grilling burgers, going to do some baked bean, some deviled egg. And keeping it simple on the dinner because she's making a pretty epic dessert. Now, I know that my folks tend to watch this, so I'm not going to spoil the dessert. Let's just say, Hat and Boobs, she is very good at making the dessert, so it's always a nice little surprise. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spoil it, but I did ask for something, and she's making it, and I'm hype about it. It's gonna be absolutely banging. So comment down below. What are you guys doing for the 4th of July? Anything fun? Anything exciting? If you want to see, kind of the process. If you guys want a little bit more of a closer, in-depth look into my life, you guys can go ahead and check me out on Instagram. Check out the Hat and Beard Show. I can put the link down in the description after we wrap up today. But go ahead and give me a follow over on Instagram. It's a little bit more of a way to see not so just football-related content, but get a little bit more of a personal look into my life, really watch me roll my skirt up and reveal my ankle to you, you can enjoy that. But so now that we are going to wrap it up this weekend or the week with some hometown news, Aidan Hutchinson named top candidate to win prestigious NFL award in 2025. And there you see him, the Hutch man. The Hutch man cometh. The Hutch man taketh away. Aidan Hutchinson's 2024 NFL season was cut short due to a season-ending leg injury suffered in Week 6 in the cursed Jerryville. God, I hate fucking playing in Dallas. Before his injury, Detroit Lions pass rusher was on pace for a historic season and would have won the Defensive Player of the Year award. Hutchinson totaled 7.5 sacks and 45 quarterback pressures in just 5 games last year. Though Hutchinson missed out on winning the Defensive Player of the Year in 2024, as the Broncos corner Patrick Surtain II took home the award. Bleacher Report's Brent Sobolewski lists Hutchinson as a top candidate to win the prestigious honor in 2025. Quote, a fully healthy Hutchinson for the entire 25 season may see him claim some personal hardware. Patrick Surtain II won Defensive Player of the Year in his 4th season. Coincidentally, Hutch is now entering his 4th year after being the 2nd overall pick in 2022. When healthy, there aren't many edge rushers in football. I'm gonna really just kind of glaze Hutch on this last bit. When healthy, there aren't many edge rushers in football more impactful than Hutchinson. In his last fully healthy season in 2023, the Michigan product tallied 11.5 sacks and 101 quarterback pressures. If Hutchinson can stay healthy for an entire 17-game slate, the 24-year-old should post a career year and put himself in position to earn his first Defensive Player of the Year in 2025. Detroit will need elite-level play from their superstar pass rusher, as the rest of the edge room is lackluster. Ain't that the truth? There is, there are some guys, right? Like, I'm really high on Ahmed Hassanin, man. Something about that Ahmed Hassanin, dude. Additionally, Hutchinson is eligible for a contract extension if the Lions decide to wait another year before extending him. The 2022 number 2 overall pick will have some extra motivation to post a dominant 2025 campaign. Now, yes, Aidan Hutchinson needs himself a running mate, though. He needs himself a running mate, and I know we're not really hype. We're not really thrilled. We're not overly excited about Marcus Poop Davenhurt, Josh Paschal, Al-Qadim Muhammad. I mean, he played. The thing about Al-Qadim Muhammad is he played statistically, he was basically the same as Zadarius Smith. So everyone's saying, we want Zadarius Smith. You got one in Al-Qadim Muhammad. I'm telling you, though, guys, there is a fire in this kid out of Boise State, Ahmed Hassanin. That kid is hungry. He's got a motor. And I'm telling you, he could be one of those guys where in 3 years, the NFL is going, how the fuck did we Okay. I realize that what I'm going to say is going to initially sound ridiculous, but I just want to put it out there because I do think it's possible. Okay. I am like 80-20 that this is possible. Ahmed Hassanin can be the defensive end equivalent of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Does that make sense? Am I wrong? Am I ridiculous? Am I fucking bananas for saying that? Am I absolutely off my rocker? Am I going completely nutters? Because I'm telling you, that kid Ahmed Hassanin has that same hunger, that same just like raw desire to win. When I listen to him, when I watch him on even in pajama practices, it gives me them Amon-Ra St. Brown vibes, dude. And I know that I'm sounding like a Gen Zer over like, oh man, that's the vibes, bro. Skibbity toilet Ohio Riz. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. No shit. Brent DeWitt says, the Philippines observes the 4th of July as a national holiday known as Philippine American Friendship Day. honoring America's help with liberating them from Japan. No shit. Dude, that is really awesome. That is really, really, really awesome. I did not know that. Hell yeah. So that's kind of why the Philippines has such a good relationship with us, huh? I knew a lot of people like through doing stand up and stuff that either were dating girls that moved here with their family when they were kids, or a couple of girls that did stand up. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Waller is getting his PP touchdown at the. Ain't that dude, Mr. Trade City? I'm telling you, there's a reason why he moved to sunny Florida and SDK his. Oh, he just realized what self joy is. He just realized how to play with himself. Now he's like, what if somebody else plays with my joystick? Oh, what if someone else plays with my joystick? What if I move to Florida? I feel like people get away with stuff down in Florida. You know what I'm saying? He goes, as long as I stay out of like Houston, Cleveland, Baltimore. Oh, hell yeah, Chase. You got your kids this year, so you're picking up and taking them to the pool party that your dad's throwing an annual gig. Oh, dude, that's awesome, bro. Dude, I hope you have a really good time, bro. I hope you have a really good time, Chase. Seriously, brother. I hope you have a really good time on the 4th with your kids, man. That sounds like a good time, bro. Seriously. That's awesome, dude. That's super awesome, dude. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's super dope. Oh, John Cole, yo, pee-pee tingle when I make that St. Brown comparison. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. He makes my pee-pee tingle when I think about the comparison. So, look, I'm just getting a raging clue. I'm just getting a big raging clue about him. You know what I'm saying? Hunger plus motor equals production, and production equals money. Get your money, son. Dude, yeah, I think he's got the motor to do it. Excuse me. Sorry, fellas. I cannot. This allergy shit has just been kicking around, man. I'm starting to get a little irritated with it. But all right, so let's go ahead and take this look at the poll. We got 11 votes. Hey, all right, guys. Appreciate it. Can Hutch win Defense Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year? 73% of you still holding strong with yes, no doubt. Coming in second place, yes, and NFL MVP. And then bringing up third, dark horse in it. Dark horse. John Cole, get it? She's dark horsing it. Get it? Feed, because we were talking about. Yo, you guys, seriously, when I do launch the show prior to going live, you guys should check it out. Sometimes the chat gets a little wild. We were talking about how AOC be needing to wear a feed bag. But coming up in third place with 9% of the vote, AOC's Tatas. Let's go, AOC's Tatas. How's this top fan thing working out? All right, so does it seem to top out at 75 XP? It looks like the top people are all locked in at 75 XP. Does it seem to top that out? Is that what's going on? I don't know how this top fan craziness works, you guys. I'm not quite familiar with it, so, appreciate y'all hanging out. Damn, 11 of y'all. Wow. Hey, there's 11 of y'all going on. Make sure you hit that like button. Share this around. You guys are getting wild with it. So, now it was brought to our attention, and we were going to go ahead and kind of do some digging yesterday, but luckily we didn't because my back hurt, and this article didn't come out until 11:13 at night. So just late. Now maybe James Morgan was listening to Brent DeWitt talking, and it was brought up to us on the Monday show, and this is why I love the chat. This is why you guys, you are my fire. You are my one desire. Believe when I say I want it that way, and I really appreciate you guys digging up stories. So Brent brought it to my attention that Tater Ratledge, the Motor City mullet himself, we are weeks away from camp opening. My guy still isn't under contract. Come to find out, 30 second-round picks still aren't under contract. So, why? And, what the fuck is going on, Tater Ratledge? So, I did find this article from UGAWire.usatoday.com. Why Georgia Bulldogs NFL rookie is in a contract dispute. What a way to start your career off. in a contract dispute as a second-round pick. Now, I did give a first-round grade to Tater Ratledge, and you guys know how absolutely high I am on Tate Ratledge. This is my guy. I said we had to come out of this draft with him. The day of, we were doing a mock draft, right? And we had I believe it was Frank the Tank. I'm pretty sure it's Frank the Tank. If it wasn't Frank that brought it up, I'm terribly sorry. He brought up Isaac Tesla, and I said that we had to walk away from this draft no matter what. I needed Tate Ratledge out of this draft, and that's exactly who we got. So let's talk about Tater Ratledge. The Detroit Lions selected Georgia Bulldogs offensive guard Tate Ratledge in the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft. The Lions and Ratledge remain locked in a contract dispute as Detroit's start to training camp July 26th nears. Ratledge is slotted to earn approximately $7.65 million over his 4-year rookie contract. However, he has not signed his deal, joining the vast majority of NFL second-round picks this summer. It's kind of an interesting thing. We're seeing this. I still think that the money that these guys want, the way that they're being kind of demanding, is both a little bit financially protecting themselves from the statistical inevitability of not making it in the league, as well as you have to now compete with some of. And I don't think Tate Ratledge was one of those guys, but Arch Manning is going to be going to be shitloading money out of NIL deals, right? Less than a month from training camp, only 2 of the NFL's 32 second-round draft picks have signed. Insider Adam Schefter reports deals are stalled over whether or not contracts will be fully guaranteed. The only 2 2025 second-round picks have signed are Cleveland's Carson Schweschinger and Houston's Jaden Higgins. New Orleans Saints quarterback Tyler Shuck, a second-round pick, is seeking to have his contract fully guaranteed. Shuck could start for the Saints as a rookie and has leverage. The resolution of Shuck's contract situation appears to be what the rest of the second-round picks are waiting on. The Lions are expected to eventually resolve their contract disagreement with Ratledge. Detroit's starting center last year, an absolute legend down in the trenches, Frank Ragnow, retired, and the Lions could start Ratledge at center. And fuck me in the go-tass if Ratledge isn't the starting center, because, oh, fuck, that means that it's Graham Glasgow's big old dumbass out there at center. And now if both of those guys are out, we are super fucked. But I would rather not Glasgow. I'd rather him play at right guard where he belongs, where Penei Sewell can really cover up a lot of his mistakes and his, I hate using the term inability, but his age, right? Because he's not getting any younger, and he's playing at his age level. He took a huge step back last year. Now he did transition from right to left, but I just don't want him being the starting center. I want Ratledge to just get in and get it over with. Get on with it. You know what I'm saying? So sign the contract. However, Ratledge never played center in his career at Georgia. The Lions would prefer to have Ratledge, who participated in minicamp, participating in training camp, so he can adjust to playing center and learn Detroit's system, his new system, as well as get familiar with Jared Goff, tickling the bottom side of your bulls with his knuckles, because there's going to be a lot to take in. There's going to be a learning curve for everybody. So the sooner that you can get your ass into camp and get hanging out with the players, start understanding, get in time with the coaches, let Hank Fraley start to cook, the better. You got to get this resolved, Tate. I get the idea of guaranteed money, right? Especially as a second-round pick, $7 million. Let's be real. In NFL dollars, $7 million over 4 years, fully guaranteed. That ain't so bad. Now, you'll be on the hook statistically for that 4th year. Statistically, it's like 3.5 years players make it in the league. Most guys don't make it to a second contract. There are a bunch of divas in the second round, Sam. That's what I'm thinking, because these guys in the second round, as we see the NFL draft kind of continue to expand and develop, you're starting to see more and more emphasis put on second, third round players. You're seeing, there is no reason for as many people to talk about third and fourth round picks as there are. But now with as much emphasis as put on the draft, the the pomp and circumstance that is the NFL light, the NCAA college football. You're seeing these guys with these overinflated egos, and once they fall out of the first round, but they still think that they're a first rounder, they demand things. They want, I would blah 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 blah. I'm just told that my shit doesn't stink. My mommy told me that my farts smell different. You know what I'm saying? Do I think Tate Ratledge is that guy that like has this big ego? I don't know enough about him. Listening to him talk a few times, I'm willing to bet that Ratledge and his agent are like, look, so this is kind of the situation that's going on. If we see a quarterback taken in the second round get guaranteed money, that gives us more leverage. However, by X day, we'll just say hypothetically 7/14/25. If this isn't in place, you just got to sign the contract. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of a, if we can get it, we can get it. If though by this date we can't get it, then assholes meet elbows and we just got to get on with our lives. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously, like let's be honest, if he comes in and he plays lights out and he's just an absolute monster of a human being his rookie year, his second year, then he can not only would he possibly have leverage to negotiate a contract extension, but Brad Holmes is the type of cat that would definitely, want to get him under a long-term deal before it became an issue, because Brad Holmes is constantly looking to make big money moves down the line. Oh, yeah. Kerry Simtich says, can't wait to see for week 2 to see nowhere to go Caleb. Yeah, dude. Caleb Williams is going to get wrecked by Aidan Hutchinson. Namely, I think that I really do think that Calvin Shepard is going to be a great defensive coordinator. I think he is well seasoned, well manicured for the job. I don't think that Dan Campbell would have put him in this position if there was any doubt, right? I mean, that's kind of what you've seen with maybe why Hank Fraley didn't get the job, is maybe there was just a cunt hair of hesitation on Dan Campbell's side. The other thing I think that people are sleeping on, and I'm going to continue to say this until proven otherwise, I think that the success that you've seen the Lions offense have with small PP Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, calling plays is really more of an effect of Dan Campbell in the actual captain's seat, making the actual calls, or at least not maybe, but finalizing the decisions. I'm sure that there were times Dan Campbell overrid certain things. Also, we need to realize Jared Goff is a very good quarterback. Our weapons are very, very elite level talent for the NFL, not just people, but for the NFL. We have top-rated, top 10 talent at nearly every single position. Some of them double dip. Look at our running backs. You know what I'm saying? Our offensive line, regardless of Frank Ragnow retiring, that's the biggest step back we could take. Kevin Zeitler wasn't going to hurt that much, in all honesty, especially with the draft class that we had. I think that Ben Johnson was grossly overhyped. Osama Ben Johnson, was funded by the deep state. How's that? Ben Johnson is a deep state plant. And once he's pushed out there to stand on his own 2 legs, he's just going to fail miserably. Dance on the floor, but you have to shower on the floor before you can. Exactly, John. That's exact. Brad Holmes can dance all that he wants. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, guys. I got wrapped up in the chat. Cleveland and another team started this, guaranteed their second rounders. Yeah, dude. They guaranteed their second rounders, and Cleveland's kind of having to do a little bit of an issue with this guaranteed money shit. That collusion nonsense that popped up. You know what I'm saying? It's getting a little ridiculous. Just call us SEAL Team 6. Hell yeah. Hell, well, that's basically what we are, dude. Just an elite group of knee biters, yo. All right, fellas. Woo, it's getting hot up here. I'm getting sweaty. I got a little too excited thinking about Tate Ratledge. A little too sweaty. Oh, my vapors. So, boys, we started the day off with the big news of the day, the thing everyone was going to be talking about, at least when you searched NFL news, it dominated the headlines, and that is Darren Waller unretiring as Dolphins acquire him in a trade with the old G-Men. Then we took a little bit closer look at the personal inner workings of Darren Waller before he unretired from the NFL, and we speculated as to why that could be type of, what's going on is he's probably just out of money. He learned how to play with his joystick. connecting Miami to another trade situation. Obviously, they were the big wheelers and dealers Monday and Tuesday. And since we didn't have a chance to talk about it Tuesday, we talked about it today. Monday, the Steelers traded away Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith to the Miami Dolphins. Who's going to ultimately win this? I think we're looking at two. In reality, the division that both of these teams are in, the AFC North and the AFC East, both have heavy hitters already sitting atop it. So what we're really disputing and talking about here, who won the trade between the two kids on the short bus wearing a helmet? They're trading gushers for fucking fruit roll-ups. Like, who won? Neither one of you. You're both retarded and going to get diabetes. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter. But it is news to fill out the slog of the offseason. And then we felt like doing a little hometown cooking. Something that I think we all know, but it's going to be making more national news because being a contender that we are with the elite level talent that we have across the board at every position. The return of Aidan Hutchinson, what can we expect? Some people are saying that he could obviously be a defensive MVP candidate based on what he was able to do in just 6 games, 5.5 games. Last year, and it should come to no surprise to any of us. I took it a step farther in the poll. Make sure you go ahead and slap an answer down in the poll. Do you think Hutch could win Comeback Player of the Year as well? Pretty simple. If you're going to win Defensive Player of the Year and have the injury that you had last year, you're going to win Comeback Player of the Year as well. So I think he easily walks away with 2 pieces of hardware realistically. And then just to kind of some food for thought, some news to kind of keep our eye on as we inch ever so closely to the start of training camps, and that is why Georgia Bulldogs NFL rookie is in contract dispute, why he and 29 other second-round players are waiting to see if they can get fully guaranteed money. I don't think that's the wisest decision to start as a second-round pick off on a bad note. I also just don't think that guaranteed contracts should really be a thing because again, any number of things can happen. Obviously, a certain amount of money is going to be guaranteed, but fully guaranteed contracts, that's a big ask. That's just a big ask, and there's the odds of a return on investment are very low, in my opinion. So, all right. So, Kerry Simchek, I also despise Chicago. F those turd seats. Yeah, dude. I just don't like the city. I'm not wild about Chicago at all. AG might suck at head coach also. Sam, I think that AG is going to have a better chance to succeed as far as a leader is concerned than small PP Benedict Arnold Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City, Osama Ben Johnson, the reincarnation of Matt Patricia. Because I think Aaron Glenn is a better leader of men. But I don't think either one of them are going to be long-term head coaches in the NFL. Shep is going to make bend over Johnson grab his ankles week 2. Caleb going down. Brent DeWitt. I second that. I cheers that. 150%. Shep is going to have his way with the Bears and their stupid offense, because we've already seen that DeAndre Swift can't work with Ben Johnson, so I don't know what they're thinking about reuniting DeAndre Swift and Benedict Arnold Ben Johnson. Osama Ben Johnson, Bend Over Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City, small PP Ben Johnson. Just a fuckface. Concussion Caleb got nowhere to go. What if Caleb Williams just... After Hutch gets his 5th sack in the second quarter on Caleb Williams runs to the sideline and jumps into the stadium and starts crying next to his mom like he did when USC lost to whoever the fuck, some bullshit-ass school. You know what I'm saying? F Chicago. Hell yeah, Brent DeWitt. Hell yeah. So we ended up with 12 votes down to the poll. 75% of you say yes, Hutch no doubt will win Defensive Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year. 17% of you say yes and NFL MVP. Third place, AOC's Tatas, and then 0% fourth place. Nope, I'm a hater. My breath stinks. So good to see you guys are all very smart, very, very clever individuals. We're going to go ahead and end that poll, and we're going to go ahead and roll into the end of the show. I want to say, first and foremost, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. That's what I love about you guys. This community is awesome. We're growing at a wild rate again. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. As the season nears closer and closer, we might get more and more people in the chat. And, you guys that have been here really grinding it out with me during the off season. there's going to be some wild-ass people out in the chat. Just, do your thing, man. I rely on you guys for a lot of this stuff. You guys tell me, give me information and all that stuff. I engage with you guys. It helps fill the hour-long show out, because if I was just with my 6th grade reading level reading these articles, it'd be like, 20 minutes and not very exciting. So I really appreciate you guys just making an awesome community and helping things grow around here. It's awesome. We are coming up on the 4th of July on Friday. It's fucking one of the best holidays ever, because this is the greatest country in the world. You know what I'm saying? And it's our Independence Day. It signifies a lot. And if you need me to explain that to you, you can just go the fuck back wherever you came. Just remember what it's for. Try not to be an asshole to people. Just enjoy the fact that we're in MAGA month, and things are looking up. All right, so yeah, enjoy it. Throw some burgers on, throw some dogs on. Remember, there's a difference between grilling and barbecuing. Barbecuing is slow over many, many hours, so don't be that guy saying, I'm barbecuing hot dogs, I'm barbecuing burgers. No, dude, you're grilling burgers and dogs. Barbecue takes a long, long, slow time. It's totally worth it. But, don't be that guy, though. Don't be that guy. I don't want to see any of you guys coming in on Monday, typing all goofy in the chat because you blew some of your fucking fingers off, and now your hand looks like the hamburger helper mitt, okay? Like, don't fucking be that guy. We're better than that, okay? Have a few sodas, enjoy yourself. It's a holiday, so look, if you follow me on Instagram, I post pretty regularly about, making sure you get to the gym and work out, but it's the holiday weekend, dude, so there's no shame in taking a little bit of time off, be a little lax on your diet. Enjoy it, right? There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself a little bit. Don't overindulge. And then get back after it Monday morning. Whether you want to listen to this while you work out or not, it's a great thing you could try and do. I don't know, man, something. But you got to stay active, stay healthy. Stay safe out there, fellas. I appreciate each and every one of you sticking around, hanging out. Be safe, and remember, back it up, Terry. Happy 4th. Go Army, Brent DeWitt says. Hell yeah. You guys enjoy the long weekend. Yeah, long weekend. I'm looking at a 3-day weekend. I'm very excited. I still drink many beers. Grilling. Yeah, so, John, I'm not going to lie, dude. The thing is like, I have a problem with alcohol, right? I really do. I'm going to be honest. It's whatever. I'm getting better at it. But, like, I tell you, beer is the perfect measurement for grilling. Like, it's the perfect measuring amount of time. And make sure you finger your meat. Don't just rely on time and looks. You got to finger your meat. Fellas, if you're not fingering your meat while you're drinking beer, if you're not drinking beer and fingering your meat while you're grilling it, what the fuck are you even doing, man? You got to finger your meat and drink Bill, dude. Drink beer, dude. All right, guys. My brain's cooked. It's hotter than balls out here. You guys have a safe rest of your week. Stay out of trouble. We'll see you bright and early, Monday morning, 10 a.m., 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, broadcasting exclusively out of Grandma Studio 1. Chase putting together a new studio space. That's awesome, bro. Have a happy 4th of July, guys. Until Monday. Bonga, bonga.